the Junior World Championships in Ufa, Russia, I believe. Was that in? I guess what I'm trying to get to. That was like August, maybe something like that. And you probably went to NCAA's last year and kind of got right back into the freestyle. Were you able to rest and recover, take like a break of some sort, recharge yourself physically and mentally before you jumped into college, back into college?
Um, had like a week, I'd say. In reality, I wouldn't say that was enough, but I had to fight through it. Usually, you have that 2 week span after your summer phase with your team. But yeah, I didn't get to really get that. I was a NUFA, but I wouldn't change that for the world.
Is that Fisher's car?
Um,
Is it?
how was that? Right? Do you like?
I just told him. Is that
Hey, let me quiet down the roommates. I'm sorry, these
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Shut up. All right, I love you.
I love
There
the
we go.
assertiveness. Um, let's just say the same thing happens this year. You make a junior world team, or you're wrestling late through the summer. Is that something you're gonna go to your coach and say, "Hey, guys, I need some time. Like, let's work on this together."
Yeah, for sure. We're very open over here at Tech, and if I do need some time off, and usually they know what's best for me, we'll talk, and they'll give that to me for sure.
Sure. And you kind of talked about this Saturday after the placing matches, but you basically said, and we didn't dig too deep, and I don't know how deep you care to go, but you mentioned like some struggles, some mental struggles. Did that kind of stem from the lack of time off and maybe the constant grind and needing a little break or a reset?
Yeah, I mean, I could say it was so many things, but at the end of the day, it's wrestling, man. I think probably every wrestler goes through it. If they don't go through mental battles, then you are just your next level Terminator. I don't know what to say, but uh, yeah, I think just people can get burnt out for sure. You can see it in sport. Everybody needs breaks. Everybody needs to free their mind and see other things, like hang out with teammates outside of the room. So I wouldn't say my coaches didn't overtrain me or the summer was too crazy, but it was probably one of the hardest, summers and going into a college thing I've done in a while. So yeah, it was hard.
And you mentioned, I remember in the interview, you said that you talked to coaches and you talked to people about how you're feeling. Like, and you're right. Like, unless you're like a next level Terminator, like everybody goes burnout, grinded too much, or it's just too hard. Not too hard, but right, like overwhelmed. Um, and I think a lot of people don't probably speak to their coaches or friends or whoever they need to. Like, has this happened to you in the past where you just kind of shoved it down and were like, just deal with it and
For
whatever.
sure, man. For sure. I mean, especially not just being men, but being wrestlers ourselves. Like we are probably you would fight for it. We're the toughest people in the world, we'd say, And that being said, we probably ignore the other side of toughness that we have to battle, not just physical. And so it could be easy, especially in the sport, to probably, just say, no, it's all good. I'll just go into practice and fight through it because that's tough. But I think what I learned about myself this year is that it's probably tougher, if not, to reach out for people for help because that's like the uncomfortable work that I
Yeah.
didn't want to have to go through. And so yeah.
How was that? Like, and was this the first time you sought help or just talking or whatever you want to call it?
No, yeah, I'll be proud to talk about it. We have a sports psychiatrist here, and they help so many student athletes here, and luckily we have a great support system here. And I was able to just go and just talk about what was on my mind, whether it be like, damn, I'm overloaded with classes and social life and just other things, overworked with practice, and I wasn't able to go into practice and have too much fun because my mind was it was going through a lot, and I finally got to be able to talk to someone and get stuff off my chest, and doing that in a way and someone who I thought I was comfortable with, it allowed me to be able to just wrestle and have fun at practice, and then it allowed on to nationals and other things like that.
That's cool. I appreciate you talking about that. I know there's lots of other people out there going through, have gone through, or will go through similar
Yeah,
things. So I think it's important to, like you said, right? It's uncomfortable, I'm sure, to
yeah,
reach out and have that conversation, and it probably um, it feels awkward or like there's something wrong, but it's actually what you're doing is right. So
Mhm.
um, Appreciate you talking about that a little bit. Now, into March and into the NCAAs, man, you're insane. You are insane, Bryce. Like, you're so fun to watch. Went back to the brackets, and you went your first match. They're all barn burners. You went 9-7. All right, 9-7.
Before you go on,
yeah,
that first match might have been one of the hardest ones. Not style matchup wise or anything, just mentally and physically. It was by far one of the hardest first match burnouts, when you just don't feel like yourself, your legs are a little bit extra tired. Like, man, that one was hard. So yeah, that was a barn burner.
Walk me through that. Like when you're out there and, where were you seated? Where did I lost it? 11 versus 22. So you're like a heavy favorite, right? You're like, all right, I should not walk over, but I should win this one. I should win this, no problem. And you go out there and you start to feel like crap. What are you saying to yourself or thinking, or what kind of thoughts for you as it's getting tough?
For me, it's always trying to, I guess, slow it down probably. Just because when you're out there, especially, this was my first national tournament with that many people. You got to slow it down in the head to simplify it for me. It's like you can either wrestle and the heart's beating, you can hear the echo and so chaotic, or you can slow it down and be like, okay, just one more point, focus on the next point. So it was a big mental battle besides physical there. I had to pull myself back in and not, if you watch the match, the first 15 seconds, I shot in and I hit throws obviously, but man, I hit the most not needed, confusing throw I've ever hit. And yeah, it started off, I went back to the coaches. They're like, because they know, like, I didn't want to do that. It was just a weird spurt. So had to get some jitters out for sure.
All right. How'd you feel after that match?
Going into the next match, good. Right after, exhausted, doing the cool downs, but it was good to just get out and get those jitters. It always is. Felt more confident going into the next one.
Sure. Now you run into number 6, and you ended up being All-American, Jonathan Milner from App State. That one's 16-11. Back to the insanity, dude. You're just like, I don't know.
Yeah, that was crazy. He beat me last year, right? Yeah, he beat me at Nationals last year. No, he beat me at freshman year at a Wolfpack Open or App State Open, I believe it was. And it was like my first open tournament or second, still getting used to college, and was beating him like 10-2 or something in the first 2 minutes. So I was going crazy. I didn't know how to slow my roll, but it's going crazy. And next thing you know, I hit a wall. I gasped, my legs got shot, and he just started racking up takedown after takedown. He had his little home crowd, and I remember he won, and I brought it up to him this weekend, but he did the snap. He told me I broke. And so we had a little pass before that. And so that was another mental battle I had to go into that. It's like, yeah, I believe I'm better and I believe I can win, or you can trick yourself and be like, oh, he beat me though, stuff like that. So it was an exciting second round match for sure.
How did you throw him? How did 16 points get on the board?
All I really remember is the one, the Gomez thing where they jack you up 2 underhooks and try to get that headlock thing. A few times he was doing it, and I was pushing on his hips, and then at one point I was tired, and he was running me, and I was running out of bounds. And then literally, ironically, I've never drilled this. And the week before, Frayer, the genius he is, we drilled that move this week. He's like, Gomez did it, that love it. He jacked him up through him. So Frayer was running me up, and we were practicing, slipping that headlock to each side. And like, I've never hit an alive go, never hit it anywhere. And I was like, it just hit me in that, it's crazy how things can hit you in those moments, and slam that headlock. Luckily I was head to toe and bounce. And then, I got it 6th there. And then I hit that's the thing. I hit so many damn crazy things. I don't know what else I hit. I don't know. But yeah, the thing is he's a freaking fighter. He just kept coming at me with shots. He did not stop that match if you watch it back. So I got really good at down blocks that match. And then at the end, I'm pretty upset with myself the way I finished that match, but he was looking for cradles and roll through tilts because I was up by 5. So I kind of was stalling it out, which I'm disappointed in.
Sure.
Yeah, barn burner for sure.
Um, that's crazy that Frayer and you are just working on this technique earlier that
Yeah.
week or before nationals, and that makes me think like how like Frayer was a thrower, right? I was in college when Jared was, and I watched him on the freestyle circuit, and he was like always an upper body guy. So do you guys work together a lot on upper bodies?
Uh, he's my guy. You know, like we work on everything together.
Yeah.
So upper body for sure. But he knows he's been working with me now for like 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it's cool to see that he knows my style in so many ways that others don't because he sees the practice room goes and he sees like yeah, so many quick mistakes that I don't see, and then he's like, yeah, he's got upper body throws, but he teaches me okay transitions to my shots to those throws and stuff like that. So yeah, his mind, I'm grateful for his wrestling IQ, and especially with my style matchup, it couldn't be better. You know.
You said he's a wrestling genius. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, he is. I mean, I haven't seen too many matches in his past. I watched a few from his like freestyle days, and then I watched a couple from his one national run. He was throwing dudes around, and um, yeah, he just like probably being a coach. Obviously, you could probably say it yourself, but he's probably learned so much after he's retired. I don't know if he is retired. You never know with that guy, but yeah, he is a genius. I'd say he just knows positions. He feels it out. Like I think I'm good at throws, but then he's like, okay, here, pinch your arm here. You don't have to wrap around on a double over. Just put your knee right here. And then I'm like, oh wow. And the guy goes flying even more. So yeah, he's a genius for sure with the sport.
Yeah. All right. So 9-7, 16-11, and you're meeting up with I think it was number 3 seed, right? Austin Gomez. Just what are your thoughts going into this match? You know, I'm sure you know if you win, you're in the semis and you're guaranteed All American. Probably like relief. I think a lot of people would say after winning the quarterfinals, there's like a sense of relief. But what's your thoughts going in? You knowing that you got an upset to get to this point. You're a significant underdog. Gomez is tough. We know you're tough, but what are your thoughts coming into this match on Friday morning?
Um, I was going through it already just from the tournament. Had some things going on. Whatever. Injury this, injury that, but everyone's injured at that tournament. But I was going through it and I just had to dig deep. I think it was more dig deep before the match. And I remember Frayer just telling me like I had something go on. And then he just told me, he's like, nothing can stop you now. Nothing. Like the words, nothing can stop you now. It was after my first match. And I just held on to that. You know, I had to simplify. I learned a lot about myself this week and I had to simplify things down to the point where I couldn't go into that match being like, okay, he's got this. He's a Big Ten champ. I'm an underdog. Let's do like, and I simplified it to where nothing could stop me. One situation, one match at a time. And it's easier said than done. But when I simplified it to that, had a good, coaching system behind me, just like keeping me on that positive side. It was easy to just go out there and just wrestle. It was like something clicked for me where I didn't overthink the fans, other outside outliers, to where I just was like, okay, it's me and this. I've never seen this kid wrestle. Literally never watched Austin Gomez wrestle. I was like, it's just me and this kid in the wrestling room. And I kind of like the style matchup as in like my shape versus his. It's like, let's get it.
This is a wrestling room match. That's like you said earlier, easier said than done, right?
It is
because there's 17,000 people in there.
Yeah.
And I'm in the back and interviewing people who won the quarterfinals the week before, and like this happens every year. You're in the tunnel or we're in the back, and you just hear these oohs and ahs, like 10,000. Oh, you're like, oh god, there's a crazy match going on, and there's always they happen every year. There's multiple times. Sometimes it's in the finals, scattered throughout the tournament. And this one was one of those. And Tyler, if we can cue this up, I want to watch through this match because I just watched it today for the first time. It was bonkers. You guys are like just chucking each other, no rips given. So we're gonna watch it, and you just kind of talk us through anything, thoughts or whatever you were thinking here.
All right. Well, yeah, you can pause it right there.
All right, yeah, Tyler.
Because I would like to talk about it. So it's pause. Yeah, these guys. So him shooting that single. First of all, that misdirection shot he has. I'll probably end up wrestling him, so I'm not going to give him too much credit because I'm down to go at it with anybody anytime. But that misdirection shot he has it was crazy. I've never felt someone that quick and good at it. And then you see I go over top, and his transition to go into that double and then straight to the body lock, that takes some wrestling IQ. He hits 3 moves in a matter of like 10 seconds. Not even. And people, wrestling fans don't see that. Like, oh, he shot it and grabbed him. He goes single, switches off to double. I pull him back up. He goes, okay, body lock. Like, that's some deep wrestling IQ right there. Next, we go. Yeah, I felt comfortable here. He was too short and small, as in like lengthwise, to where if I shot a single, you saw my arm was too deep. And that was on the edge last 5 seconds. We drill those things, every wrestler does. Last 5 seconds, get the takedown. And luckily, I had a good mindset in this match.
At the buzzer.
Because that takedown was big. Yeah, right at the buzzer. There's that. This was just scrap. This is unique. And then here.
That's the oohs and ahs from the crowd, and you almost went over.
Yeah, here, this is fighting. This is fighting, dude. This is fighting. Here, I got a disquality point. That's just showing, I think I'm learning a lot still. I still have a lot of mind games. I think I gave him like 3 points in a matter of a couple seconds. And the way he was able this. Boom! All right, one more time. One more time. Go back to come on. Yeah, I gotta respect it. That was a mean throw. Yeah, I went out for a couple seconds here. Doesn't look like it, but
what you got on your back when you got planted?
Right here. Oh yeah, stinker for sure. Boom. I was out. Split second, and then I just looked up, saw the coaches. Let's get it.
Wow.
Then he's right back in on a shot. This kid, that was savvy right there. I was impressed by myself. I usually am not. Pretty happy I had that ankle pick.
Single double body lock again.
Because in the beginning of the match, he got to that body lock, and like I tried pulling him up. He's way too short to where he could have just popped me back up like he did the first takedown. And luckily I had a good in-match adjustment. Here, you just got to respect him for going after it.
Yeah. Final 30 seconds. Man.
Yeah.
Dude, that match was insane. And
it was.
The transitions, the 1, 2, 3 counter. One time he dove over the top and caught his ankle, or I don't know.
I was trying to go for some like Winn-Dixie type, like, and even at the end of the tournament I did, but he was hard to hit on because I don't even know what it was, whether it was his spring or not. But anytime I get him to his back, it's pop or something. I couldn't keep him down. I usually can. Yeah. So yeah.
That's like a crowd that a match that the crowd appreciates, right? And it's a very knowledgeable wrestling crowd. It's not just fringe fans. Like people who come to that tournament, for the most part, are really tuned in and know wrestling. Could you feel at the end? I don't know if it was a standing O, but I know that's one of those matches where the whole crowd gives a hand because they really appreciate what they saw. Did you feel that or hear that?
Yeah, no. Sadly, no. I don't. I really don't hear anything, Besides, you're so tunnel visioned at that time that all you see it as is kind of distraction. Because when I look at my coaches, you can't even hear their voices half the time, but you gotta look at their eyes, what they're trying to do with their hands, and like half the time it's just like little things. Every wrestler has those things with their coaches, but after I just wanted to get the heck out of there. I shake my coach's hands and move on, and then. Yeah, I didn't really feel the crowd, but I did feel, respect between us two. Because right after I was walking in the back, and then he was back there. And ironically, the whole weekend, how the teams had their table sections. Yeah. Wisconsin was right next to us. So he was right next. We can literally eye contact, look to the right, left, and he was able to see me. And he was a man enough to shake my hand and say good match right after.
That's great.
So yeah,
that's great. That's respect. And you mentioned it's so loud I can't hear my coaches. And I was asking something else about this the other day. Like, what do you typically like? Let's say it's a duel or something that's not quite as big as the NCAAs where you can hear the coach, or it's a smaller tournament, which I guess any tournament's smaller than this one. But what do you like out of your coaches, right? Do you like somebody who's quiet? You like somebody who's loud and gives you instructions? You like somebody who just like gives encouragement? Because there's a lot of different ways that buttons
Yeah.
to push for different people. What do you like?
Um, it's a mix of both. I don't like coaches going too crazy because it's like, dude, there's no point. There's really no point to scream that much. But they know how to keep me calm in the situations between periods, like their mannerism and just being like, yo, they like to let me know the time because I don't pay attention to the clock. And then when I look at them, I kind of regroup and they let me know, okay, it's like, you got a 4-minute go now, Bryce. That's not a 4-minute go left or 2-2 goes. And then the times that they do scream are perfect for me. It's like I'm in a position where maybe I'm holding and they're like, it's like a match. They're like, don't sit, go, 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 go. Like, sometimes you need that. A wrestler needs that because it's easy to get exhausted when you get to a front headlock and, like I can hold or I can go chase an ankle. And sometimes you need that extra kick from your coaches, or at least I do sometimes. And my coaches do a great job. Jared and Frayer in that corner. It's a good, they balance each other out really good.
Nice. So now you're like in semifinals, right? It's like we're getting, holy crap.
Oh yeah.
NCAA semifinals. Have you been to the NCAAs prior to like 2019 or earlier? Have you ever been as a fan and experienced the semifinal round?
I don't think so. I think I did once. It was in either Cleveland, maybe, or I experienced the quarterfinals. I know that for sure.
Yeah. So it's like there's an energy in that building, and it's like I don't really know how to describe it to anybody who hasn't been there. It's like you got to like be in the building to like feel this. It's pretty nuts. How did you feel going into Friday night? Friday morning's a big deal, the quarters, but Friday night's like session 5, or I guess it's 4, is like the session, right? And I know the finals are awesome, but like you got the blood round going on, you got the semifinals. There's so much on the line Friday night. How'd you feel walking into the arena? How'd you feel walking onto the mat?
I like I said, I learned a lot about myself and about every wrestler did over this tournament. But I feel like obviously I didn't wrestle to my fullest abilities, I'd say, and I didn't get the outcome I wanted, but just like the confidence that I gained in a lot of ways, just the fact that I was able to 2 hours before know how I want it to be and feel. And yeah, going into maybe in the next years or new tournaments, I'll take what I can from this weekend. But, the strength I had to stay calm 2 hours before, that's the hard parts, or an hour before, knowing the energy levels that you want to, your heart rate levels that you want to have and your drill, and knowing that there's this many people, because our coach did let us know, be grateful for this moment because this tonight there's no other night like it. When you're a kid, this is the stuff you dream about. And I really wasn't thinking about that until we had a little meeting before we head out. And so going in and just had some gratitude, a little bit of excitement. And yeah, I liked how I did feel mentally wise, just being able to stay calm. And because, you can be like, holy shit, there's so many dang people here. Like, so yeah, I felt mentally wise going good into it. When I got out there, it was a little different story, but yeah, I felt good.
Well, what do you mean it's a little different story when you got out there?
I don't know. I had a few hiccups that match for sure. Just mine hiccups. My legs got shot, and that's not an excuse. Maybe it was just, my preparation or a couple other things you could put in factors, but I had to go out there and I had to face other battles, like I said, like that first match. Sometimes it's not just the kid that you're wrestling, it's yourself. And I believe deep down, I did give it my all. I wish I had more energy and stuff like that. But when you get out there, it could get crazy. It could get loud and you can focus on a couple other things than what you have to. And I think there was a couple moments, whether it just be 1 second, at the end of the day, 1 second could bite you in the ass. And yeah, I did have a few hiccups, but I did learn from it, and I'm grateful for that match and grateful for competitors like Ridge and Austin and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, you said you didn't think you wrestled to your best or your fullest. Man, you came damn close. I mean, from my perspective, I don't, whatever you think and believe and know is inside of you is probably right. But man, like, a 1 point loss in the semis, come back and cement third place. was pretty damn impressive. Now, I'm curious how, we just kind of talked about Friday night. Saturday morning is like a whole, from, again, not the competitor's perspective maybe, but it's just a whole different feel and tone. It's like, it's almost like this just calm, like soothing feel that I don't know, a vibe you feel from the athletes and the coaches. It's like, it almost feels like a freestyle event, the way that freestyle events are like a little bit more chill,
I
right?
love that you said that. I love that you said that. That's the thing too, is I'm so grateful I got to make it to the third day, because I think it was Colin Moore, he tweeted it, and it couldn't have hit the spot better. I was like, I don't follow him, but it showed up on my Twitter feed, and it was just like the mutual respect that I think he said, like, the guys at the weigh-in lines have on the third day. And it's so funny because, like, first day, it's like everyone's, got their front, they're all tough and they're all skinny, hating life, and they're like, what can happen? They're staring everybody down, like, I can wrestle that guy, I can wrestle that guy, and you're everything. And then there's the couple guys who they're in their own mojo, which I look up to. That's pretty cool. But that third day, you go from everyone so serious to, okay, guys are like, oh, what are you doing after? Like shaking hands, like. So yeah, it's a different vibe. And then the tournament wise, I think it's more of like it's a dig deep day. Like it's truly, I think what I learned is on that day, it's all these days, it's about grit, it's about heart, but damn, it's all about grit, heart. That last day, you gotta pull deep, because it's like coaches say it, and I'm glad we have good coaches at Tech that say it, but everyone feels like crap. Everybody. Don't feel sorry for yourself, because everybody feels like crap. And just knowing that going into the match, it's like everyone's this much quicker to break, especially on that third day, and you can't, and it's not calling kids weak, it's just that third day is brutal, and it's all about how much, can you go a second longer than that guy? And I felt like I definitely did that day. And I felt, whether it just be the last second that the kid broke, I had to go 6 minutes and 59 seconds. So that day, it's just, it's a mutual respect type of day. And you're right, there's just something different in the air. It was cool that you said that. I'm sorry I went on a tangent, but it was a cool day.
Oh, don't be sorry. That was the best tangent I've heard in a long time. That was awesome. So I thank you for articulating that.
Yeah.
You nailed, like, everybody feels bad, right? Again, they take the guys that win in the placing matches, they bring them to the chairs for people to interview. Everybody's face is messed up. Everybody's limping. It's just like literally. I don't think it was you. I don't remember who it was, but somebody stood up out of the chair and took a few steps in there with their coach and trainer or something. They wanted to bend down to get their sweats or something, and he goes, "I can't bend down." Was that you?
No, but I'm just laughing just because of the sport, man. Like you don't get that anywhere else.
He's like, he kind of whispered it, right? He's, I can't bend down.
Yeah, you don't want to say it out loud, but like, damn, dude, I can't
you guys are beat to hell. So that's cool. That's cool too, to hear about the weigh-in line and the differences between Friday and Saturday. I think that's great. Klingman, what's your take on Saturday morning?
I think it's the most compelling round of the NCAA championships, just because of what got articulated there, because it's just everything is kind of crushed at that point because you didn't reach the final. So everything's about grit. Everything's about toughness. Everything's about just getting one place higher. I think about the 7th, 8th place match, what those guys go through. You're going for 1 point in the 7th, 8th place match, and to put it on the line there, that's an impressive thing to do. I love that round.
Yeah. No. Also at Ed's, we back at Ed's, it was a motto: finish on a nod. Tough guys finish third. And Coach Heffernan, he pushed that my whole career. And I'm grateful that he said that, and you don't realize it until you're on the backside. And it's way harder to get on a groove. You win the semis, you're going to the finals, you got your mojo. It's like you just got your dreams crushed, and now you just got to go out and find a way. So yeah, tough guys finish third, or tough guys finish on a nod. That's what we like to say.
Describe losing in the semis, the feeling that you just said it, your dreams crushed, and like how long you let yourself feel that way, or whatever. How long before you are able to say, "Coach, have to finish on an odd," right? Like it has
Yeah.
to be like this down, and then how do you pick yourself back
Yeah.
up?
My coaches,
Yeah,
like my coaches. Yeah. Like if I was at that tournament alone, let alone alone that night, I don't know if I would have even like, I don't want to say some things, but I don't know. I don't know what I would have done without them. And that's why the sport, you pick your coaches or you pick where you want to go based on how you feel. And I'm grateful I came here because, I think I've said it in a couple interviews now and I'll keep it short, but you don't see a lot of these fans don't see what these coaches go through. Like they went through a longer day than probably I did, emotionally wise, coaching all these kids that they've day in and day out, you know, went just to practice 7 a.m. running on a treadmill, just all these things, emotions going into these guys. And then for them to see me lose that semis first, and I bet he was, obviously heartbroken because he cares about me so much. And for them to just go through that and then van back to the hotel, help me put on, my sweatshirts and stuff, and then stay up until 12 o'clock, which what I was getting at. They stayed up until Brewer and Frayer. They stayed up until 12 that night, kind of wait with me. Got back at 10 o'clock ish, and just to stay up and rub me down after, just the sacrifices they made, it helped me to a point where I can't put into words. They got me literally off my feet, put me on a treadmill, and I know deep down I wanted to, but I was being sad, feeling sorry for myself, and if anything, I felt sorry for them, or what is the word? I just felt bad, because they deserve it too. As an athlete, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and they were luckily good enough people to be like, "No, man, we're proud of you. We love you. And it's easy to coach you when you fight your heart out." So, yeah, like I said, those coaches. I'm not making weight. I'm not going to the next day. A lot of these athletes aren't without their coaches and their system behind them.
yeah. The sport is just awesome. Like we touched every wave of emotion just in this interview, like felt the depths of connection and loyalty and dedication from the athletes and the coaches, right? So, this is great. I freaking love it.
That's what I was trying to say is I gained so much from this weekend, and it wasn't even like wrestling for the most part. It made me realize this weekend how much more it's not about wrestling, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. But we are talking wrestling, so and that's the end. That's kind of puts a cap on the NCAA. You took third, right? You came back and beat Gomez again. Like that's not easy beating somebody that tough. But I want to
And Milner. Yeah, I give him some
I
credit
didn't even
too,
know you
man.
beat Milner twice. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even realize that until after the tournament. They're like, "Oh, you wrestled the same guys twice. That's crazy." My little brother said it. I was like, "Yeah," and then I was like, "Oh, I did wrestle the same guys twice this weekend." For both of us, me, Milner, and Austin, to have to know our style matchups, especially at the best level. Like, what do we bring? That's what made it that much harder because each guy knew like tie ups, what was next. So each guy probably had to bring a little bit extra funk or a couple extra different things, and made it that much harder.
Yeah, awesome. I'm sure. I assume you're gonna wrestle freestyle this fall or spring, summer.
Yeah.
You love freestyle, I think.
Maybe a little Greco.
All right. Cool. Well, I'm excited to watch you wrestle some freestyle for sure because I know your style is just very entertaining. But I know Klingman's been sitting over there patiently chiming in a little bit, but he's got a couple questions for you, Kyle.
Thank
We
you.
have a game called Sweat It Out. It's 5 questions. I guess post NCAA championships, just trying to make you squirm a little bit more than you already have. Are you ready to play?
Yeah, I'm ready to play.
All right. Number 1, where did Tom Brands coach before he went to Iowa? Got it.
Hey, you want to know something funny? Is I always mess with him about that. I think he said it. It was like 2 years ago. I was like, Tom Brands, and he like saw our group walking to UWWs, or it was Tom or Terry, and he was like, Blacksburg, best 12 months of my life. And yeah, it was a little slap in the face to us, but yeah, funny guy.
Number 2, who won the National League MVP in 2021 this past season?
The what?
The National League MVP in Major League Baseball.
Oh. Dude, hold up. Can I phone a friend? Like, is it in the room?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Caleb, who won MLB MVP last year?
National
Or this
League.
year, right?
Yeah, 2021.
2021.
2021?
Yeah.
Oh,
Look at him. He's thinking
it's
hard.
the Angels pitcher.
Angels pitcher?
Now that's American
Cy
League.
Young.
We
That's
won
American
National.
League.
Yeah, he's
We're
looking
going
at
National
National League.
Yeah, man, we don't know. We're wrestlers, right? What are you doing? You coming with these baseball?
The first one was so
Let's split
easy.
it up. Yeah, Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper. Dang.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Number 3, who did Tony Roby wrestle in the finals of the 1997 NCAA championships, which was 25 years ago?
Sadly, you're gonna hate me, but I don't know the name. I know that he was an Iowa wrestler. And yeah, I watched that Iowa documentary about Gable, I think it was. So it showed it in that and talked about that.
I
don't know his
what
name.
what are we gonna do, Mark? Give him half a point? He kind of knows.
Half a point, I know
Hey,
his Iowa. I know,
give a hint. Is this like
like
This is a
I know the guy.
3-timer?
Yeah, 3. He knows who it is. He just didn't know his name, I think.
I'm telling you, I'm terrible with wrestling names. I don't pay attention to this stuff.
All right. I mean, like a half
Yeah.
point.
I'm good.
His name is Joe Williams.
Joe Williams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony Roby any day of the week over that guy. I'm sorry.
Love the confidence in the faith.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. What Cleveland native began her career as a model before becoming an actress in roles in X-Men, James Bond movies, Monsters Ball, and Catwoman?
dude.
You're
sure
from
you don't wanna
Cleveland.
You sure you don't want to talk wrestling?
He's starting to sweat, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm sweating. LeBron James.
No. Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. Day.
Halle Berry.
Yeah.
All right. Final one is a wrestling question. Who won the 2018 Junior World Championships at 74 kilograms?
Was it?
Hang on.
Did he wrestle at this year's NCAA championships?
He did.
Yeah, that's a good.
What is it?
20. Okay, hang on. 74 kilogram. What was it? 2018
28 Junior Worlds.
Junior World Champ. Oh, 74. Who? Oh my gosh. Yo, you got me thinking too deep for the last question, man. Our boy Makai Lewis, champ. Bro.
You got it. 2.5, I think. 2.5.
2.5.
Got half.
2.5.
2.5. All right. At that, I was like, that first one, I was like, bro, if they're all this easy.
Yeah, we were fighting for it. We fought though. We fought for our points.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. That's great. Well, shoot. I think that's about takes us to the end of the line. Thanks for coming on though. This has been a great conversation. Like I said, we kind of we touched on all the emotions. Like just from the way you talked, I feel I know what the NCAA tournament is, but if I didn't, hearing this conversation would give somebody some good insight. So you didn't get to take 2 weeks off last time after Junior Worlds. Are you going to have the chance to take a couple weeks and just chill a little bit, have some downtime now?
Going in today, gonna have a little talk with Frayer. So yeah, we'll see where we're going from there. See.
Awesome, man. Well, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna give you the final word though. Before we get out of here, anything you might want to say about anything?
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. It's always fun talking. Got to talk to you after my one match and interview you, and didn't get to meet in person too much, but it was cool to meet you this week. And yeah, thank you guys again.
Awesome,
cool.
Man. Thank you, Bryce. Have a great one, and hopefully we see you soon on the freestyle circuit.
Sounds good, man. You guys have a good day.
Yeah, you too. All right, Kyle, man. Lights out. I think we're 2 for 2 this week. I really enjoyed this conversation with Bryce Andonian.
You're right. I felt the NCAA championships in a matter of 40 minutes there. I just felt all the emotions right in that time frame, because I was feeling good. You watch the quarterfinal match, you're excited. Then the way he explains it, you kind of bottom out and you get the emotion, and you talking about how you can't even bend down at the in the consolation round. It's crazy. It's what a tournament, man.
Yeah, I think my favorite part might have been his description of Saturday morning versus Thursday at the weigh-ins, and just like the tone. It's cool. So
Yeah,
if you haven't
and it
been
all
to the,
happens right here in 3 days.
yeah. So that's gonna do it for today. Pat Glory, NCAA runner-up, coming on the show tomorrow. Really excited to talk to him. Close out a banger of a week. But that's gonna do it for Bryce Andonian and Kyle Klingman. I'm Mark Bader. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks.